Sawadi Cup, everybody. Ty Top Shelf here with episode 12, and today we are reviewing Charlotte's Angel by the LocalBoys. They're a local Bangkok company, which we highly recommend. They're great guys. Everyone that works for the company is amazing. They're partnered with Bloom. If you want to get their weed, you can order it right from Bloom. It's all available on the website. You can use our code TTS10 for 10% off your order when you order from Bloom. Just open up the nugs here quick for you guys, give you a look. It's a very nice nug, a lot of hairs, a lot of crystal, very nice trim job, dried well. For looks, I'd give this weed a 7.5 out of 10. There's not really much I could complain about. It's probably the best CBD weed I've ever seen in person. The nugs look amazing, they're not stringy at all, they're crystally, very nice nugs. Give a little smell on this one. It's got a very unique smell. I don't think I've ever smelled a weed that smells like that. It's got like a little bit of citrusy hints, maybe a little like tobacco in there, a little bit of a diesel-y smell. Very unique, but also very pleasant. I like the smell on that one. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10 because it isn't the most pungent, like hit you in the face smell, but it's very pleasant and very unique. We actually met the LocalBoys when we were in Bangkok. They're great guys. They all support local growers. This one was grown by a company called Medicana, which started out doing CBD weeds and now has moved towards doing the more top shelf THC weeds. LocalBoys let us try out a variety of their weeds when we met up them in Bangkok. We've tried this one and a few of the other Medicana weeds. They were all amazing. They all taste great, and I'd highly recommend anything grown by them. And that's all for this segment, guys. I'm gonna roll up a joint, pack a bong toke, and I'll get right back to you guys. All right, guys, I'm back. I got my joint rolled, got a nice big bong toke packed, and I'm ready to give this a go. Alrighty, here's the old joint all rolled up. We light it up for you guys and I'll let you know how it is. First couple pulls, exceptionally smooth. Great taste, it's kind of like a peppery flavor on it off the start. Yeah, not harsh at all. A nice resin line off the start there. Burning very smooth and completely even burn, no canoeing. No flavor change at all throughout the first quarter of the joint. Still super smooth, just a slight peppery flavor. Yeah, no harshness at all. Can't feel it in my throat at all. Comes down nice and smooth. Smoke literally feels like cool going down my throat. Don't notice it at all. The effects so far, just feeling nice and relaxed, little body buzz, little bit of a tingle, but nothing too crazy. The head high is still like completely clear, my head's fine. And halfway through here, maybe a little more. No flavor change at all, still burning even. Some nice fairly white ash on that. Really no complaints at all with this joint. It's an exceptional joint. If you guys have never smoked CBD weed before, it's got a very interesting high. It's not what you would typically get from THC weed. It's just kind of like relieves your anxiety, gives you a nice body buzz. You do feel like elevated. There's like a happy, kind of like uplifting feeling. You don't feel like there's no in the couch. You don't feel out of commish. Like I could go do anything right now. I could work the rest of my day. and just have like the edge off. So they clock this weed in at somewhere between 1 to 3% THC and 15% CBD. So super high in CBD, but you got a little bit of THC in there. Just to do something. Gives you like a little bit of a head high. But the CBD super balances it out. If you've never smoked like a high CBD weed, like it would blow you away. You can go from like super baked to ripping a CBD weed and it just like evens your high out. Just like, I don't know, like if you ever get like anxious or paranoid from smoking weed, I'd highly recommend ripping in a CBD joint, because it just kind of like alleviates that anxiety feeling, gives you a nice body buzz. People even says it like kind of brings down your high. If you're ever too baked, like believe it or not, smoking more weed might be the answer. Just has to be CBD weed. I'm coming to the end of this joint here. I'm in like the last quarter of it and still exceptionally smooth. No change in flavor at all. One of the better joints I've smoked. And it's CBD weed. All right, guys, so I'm at the end of the joint here. Still exceptionally smooth. Like, hasn't really lost like anything. Like, kept its taste from start to finish. Exactly what you like to see in a joint. All right, guys, so now I'm gonna give the Bong toke a go, and then I'll give you the final ratings. All right, so pretty smooth weed. Not the smoothest I've ever smoked. You definitely feel it in your throat, but went down pretty well. The flavor was pretty similar to the joint, just like a little peppery flavor, maybe like little like diesel-y gas in there, but that's about all. For the taste on this weed, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Very strong taste. I don't know, like it's not one of my favorite tastes. If you love that like peppery diesel, maybe a little tobacco, you'll love this weed. It's just I'm not a tobacco smoker and don't really love the heavy pepper taste, but an 8 out of 10 for sure on the taste. This is by far the best CBD weed I've ever smoked. If you've never tried CBD weed, I highly recommend trying it out. It's got a very unique high, very heavy body buzz, but like this one specifically has a very interesting head high. Like I've never experienced a CBD weed that has the head high this weed has. It's got like a super uplifting, like happy effect. Like I would highly recommend checking this out. You can pick it up at Bloom.Express, and if you'd like to get 10% off, you can use the code TTS10 and support the channel. Yeah, so for the rating on effects, I'll give a 9 out of 10 because it's different than THC weed, but like the CBD effect is amazing. And I have never experienced a CBD weed with the additional like uplifting kind of happy head high this one gives. I've only ever had like just body buzz kind of mellow you out CBD weeds. And this one is completely different. You have to go check these guys out. So for value on this weed, it sells for 250 baht for 1 gram, which is by far the best price I've ever seen in Thailand. That's like less than 10 bucks Canadian a gram. That's about 650 American, which that's like what you want to pay for weed. You can't really beat that price. That's the most competitive price I have seen in Thailand today. All the other companies sell their weed for 6, 7, 8, maybe even 1,000 baht a gram, which for most people is completely unaffordable. I love to see the local boys making their weed accessible to everybody in Thailand, not just the really rich people that have money to blow. So the value score is going to be a 9.5 out of 10, which I know is extremely high, but can't really beat the value. Like you're never going to find other weed in Thailand for that price unless you want to smoke brick weed or Thai stick. But this is a top shelf CBD weed and you get it for the price that anyone can afford. So that just takes us to our final overall score today, which is an 8.3 out of 10 for the LocalBoys Charlotte's Angel. So all right, that's all for today, guys. I'd appreciate a like on the video if you enjoyed the content. And if you haven't subscribed yet, maybe consider subscribing if you enjoy. and I'll see you next time.